Hello guys, welcome to Daddy Share Space, and today I'm coming to you with a video about the Vuzix Blade smart glasses. Specifically, I want to talk about the Vuzix Blade 2. This right here is the original Vuzix Blade, so it is not the 2, just to clarify. However, I did get a question in one of the comments on one of my videos where someone asked me some questions about this particular device, and I want to touch on those right now. So I have set up here, just out of the shot, my Surface Book laptop, and I've gone onto the Vuzix App Store on their website, and still to date, this is March the 27th, 2024, they still only have 27 applications that are cleared for the Vuzix Blade 2 smart glasses. Now, there is some literature here at the top of the Vuzix app page, and it says Microsoft Teams on the Vuzix smart glasses. And when you click the Learn Now More button, it takes you to another page, and there is a place for you to put in your name and your email, and it says Request Teams Support. So there's a couple questions that I got. One of the questions was, do applications like, Microsoft Teams and viewer type apps, are they free on the device? And then there was another question regarding how this device functions with notifications from, say, your smartphone. So let's talk first about the applications for, such as Teams. So when you actually go to their application store, they have a video conferencing app that's Vuzix branded. It costs $39.99 for 3 months. They have a WebEx connecting app that's $15 monthly. They also have Remote Assist, which it has a trial subscription, but there's some kind of a cost attached to that once you go past the trial subscription. Basically, to kind of summarize or kind of get down to the facts, there are no free teleconferencing apps for the Vuzix Blade smart glasses. Also, I want to touch on the fact that as far as Teams on this device, it is a case-by-case situation. So if you're a company, you can reach out to Vuzix and they can work on the back end to kind of get that integration going for you. However, it does not have a native application in the App Store. So if you think you're going to buy the Vuzix Blade 2, pop it on and be, having teleconferencing with Teams, that's not going to be the out-of-the-box experience. You're going to have to work with Vuzix support. And when you go back to the original Blade, like this one here, they actually had applications like Google Maps. They had Google Assistant, Amazon Alexa, and some other applications. And some of the more, or even they had a Facebook Lite app. These applications, based upon my use with them, were not first-party supported apps. They were more like an application that was like more of a window to whatever site. And as a result, you did not have full and complete support. The issue with that is that because the Vuzix Blade platform does not have the Google Play Store, most of the applications that would be on this device, which is an Android-based device, would be kind of side-loaded, and as a result, you're not going to get full support. So there's that. Now, regarding the notifications, I'm going to be very clear. I don't use this nearly as much as I used to. When I originally purchased this Vuzix Blade, I was actually wearing it every day. I would wear it to work, and I really liked it for what it was. I don't think that it's a bad product today. However, it has changed. In my opinion, I believe the company probably had a lot of returns, because even though this is in my opinion, a groundbreaking device, the reality of the matter is it did not come without its shortcomings. When I originally got mine, it actually did disconnect quite a few times from my smartphone, which was a pain to actually reconnect. Over time, that did get better. However, the actual connection to your smartphone was not 100% integrated, like say if you bought a Samsung smartphone and a Samsung watch, or an Apple smartphone and an Apple watch. The integration is not quite so seamless. You could see the notifications in this device when you say received a call or a text message. However, this device did not have the ability to actually interact with those text messages and or notifications. It does not support turn-by-turn navigation, so that is not something that you can get with this. Now, that's ironic because if you go back and look at some of the old Vuzix infomercials, if you will, on YouTube, you'll see a guy jogging, and he has like some turn-by-turn directions, and I believe that video was more like a conceptual ideology of what they wanted Vuzix to be. They wanted this to be a platform. They wanted, at one point in time, they were offering people rewards to come up with applications for this device, and I just feel like it did not catch on. It didn't take. And I believe a lot of people that were not quite as resilient as maybe some purchasers would be, they didn't keep the device. They sent it back. And that makes it difficult for a smaller company like Vuzix, to continue to offer research and development. I did watch a video on YouTube where one of the higher officials in the company, could have been the CEO or the actual creator of the device, he actually stated that Vuzix is kind of pivoting more towards business. Not to say that it wasn't a business device at the beginning, but I do believe that they did try to make a consumer push with this device, and unfortunately it was not received in the way that would basically make Vuzix a viable platform for the broader consumer. This device, it's not a heavy device, but as far as the fashionability, it's in the eye of the beholder. I'll put this on so you can kind of get a look at what it looks like. So this is the glasses. It does not come in a whole bunch of different form factors or different shapes. You can see how it fits my head. This, if you can kind of see here in the shape of it, how it has this rounded edge. It does not have flex hinges, and I've actually had 2 of these devices crack right along here just from handing them to someone for them to try them on, and their instinct is to spread open these 2 arms, and that actually caused a hairline crack here. Now, within the first year, I would say that Vuzix is really good with their support. I would actually contact them. Now, it's not a smooth process. I had to send multiple emails back and forth, and they would have me do things like take a picture or record a video of the issue that I was having and send it in, and there's multiple dialogue, it was a lot of correspondence back and forth. So it wasn't like just check a box, send it back. You have to get an approval to get it sent back, but then once you do send it back, I was always pleasantly surprised that they would actually send me a brand new boxed Vuzix blade. Now, over time, I ended up learning that that's not necessarily a good thing, because once my device, and not this one, I bought the second version of the Vuzix blade. It was called the upgraded blade, and that was the one that has the audio speakers in it. This is the original blade. It does not have speakers. You have to connect it to Bluetooth to have audio. The one with the speakers, it actually got cracked, as I mentioned, when I let someone try them on. And when I contacted Vuzix, they basically told me, because my device was out of warranty, essentially that they couldn't do anything for me. Now, they did offer to sell me a refurbished model, but it was like something, it was probably like $600 or $700 or somewhere around in there, and I just felt like that was a bit too steep. And by that time, the Vuzix Blade 2 was out, and of course it came in at $1,299. Now, as far as the pricing, if you're a person that was considering buying the Vuzix Blade, I just think that I'm not going to say it's a bad product or something that you shouldn't buy, but what I will say is you do need to know what you're getting into, not just for yourself, but also for Vuzix, because if we want to have companies continue to produce things like this and put them on the market for us to sell, then as a consumer, you have to take some degree of responsibility and understand this may not be a finished device for you. So if you're willing to spend $1,299 and deal with the bumps and bruises of something not being 100% finished and polished and good, but you do have to consider, if you purchase something like this and you decide I'm going to return it because I am not happy with the experience, then that basically sends a message back to companies like Vuzix that, they should not continue to invest, which is pretty much, in my opinion, what has happened here with this device. There has been no upgrade in the camera from the original model. So that means that the resolution is, they say 1080p at 24 frames per second and then 720p at 30 frames per second, but it is more of one of the older generation smartphones when you start talking about resolution. It's not something that you would want to record video with and, like, say, be posting on social media all over the place, because it's not that great as far as the footage. I've actually have some videos on my channel that show some of the Vuzix Blade footage, and you'll see that it's not really something that I would say, it's more function over form, if you will. So if you needed to do something in a pinch, it's fine. But if you really are looking for, video quality and stabilization, this is not where you're going to find that. That's another thing that I think that should have been integrated into the Vuzix Blade. They should have a level of like GoPro-ish type of stability built into a device like this. Now, you have to consider, if you make that, then basically the price tag is going to go up. But the reason why I say that it should have that is simply because without some kind of stabilization, when you're watching Vuzix footage, it can get you pretty nauseous, because the person's going to be moving their head around, not being conscious to the fact that the viewer is being dragged along with them. And so with the lack of stabilization, the footage can be at times pretty much unusable, to go along with it not having a great resolution. Application support is still very limited. As I said, it's 27 applications currently. Most of them are not consumer facing applications. The integration, because it is an Android phone, but if you're not into coding and writing your own programs, you're going to have some problems with integrating it with Google Play applications, because there has to be a level of security in order to get those on here. And as I look in the App Store, Google Play is not one of the applications. Vuzix has their own App Store. They either contract or write their own applications, and so that you just don't have the same kind of support that you may get on, say, iOS or on Android. So in conclusion, I just want to say, it's kind of a long-winded answer. If you're looking for this for notifications and being able to respond to those notifications, I would not say this is the best option. It's good that you can actually see the notification floating out in front of you in space, but you can't really interact with it. It's not like a smartphone where you can, send a quick reply. It just doesn't have the actual software package to integrate into your phone at that level. And from what I can see so far, Vuzix has not created like a stack app where basically if you were talking to another Vuzix Blade individual, that you're going onto their server, into their little chat app that they created, where you can have seamless communication and interaction. So, that's my answer to the question. That basically there are no free like teleconferencing apps. And if there is a free one, it's basically a free trial. So that means it's not free. Most of the applications on the device I did not find to function up to the same standard that I would find on iOS or Android. And I don't fault the company for that. I just find that, they're a small company, and most people don't appreciate what these glasses are. I mean, Apple came out with their Vision Pro, I think it is. Microsoft came out with the HoloLens a long time ago. Those are a lot larger devices. And even they, failed in this kind of augmented reality market. Now, I'm not saying that the Apple device failed. It just came out. But I mean by it's not something that everybody's going to have. It's not like an iPhone. It's not like a smartwatch where you're going to have millions upon millions of people using it daily. So you just put this in the same bucket of those things and just accept the fact that it has a lower level of support from top to bottom as far as software packages. And, as I said, if you know how to code, then you can probably get a lot out of this, the same way you could get a lot out of maybe a HoloLens or some other type of device, as long as you can get access to the software protocols to be able to write applications to make it do what you want it to do. But you're probably not going to be able to upgrade the camera within here or within this device. And that's pretty much what I have to say. Now, I will say this: if Vuzix would have continued to iterate on this particular device, and I have to say that the Vuzix Blade 2 was kind of like, like a left turn for me. It was not going in line with what they had been making prior to, with the Vuzix Blade 1, the upgrade to the upgraded Blade. I felt like there was a nice advancement. The Blade 2 seems to be more of a contraction of the product, especially software wise, meaning it's more of a controlled environment. It does not have all the applications. I think there's a total of 174 applications on the Vuzix platform in their app store. Only 27 are listed as being usable on their website on the Vuzix Blade 2, so you should keep that in mind. Anyways, guys, thank you for taking time to listen to the video. I hope this answers the question that person had, and if not, you can put a question or clarify your question in the comments below, and I'll try to get back to you on that. Apologize that it did take me several weeks to make this video, simply because I actually hadn't been using it in a while, and I wanted to make sure I went on their website and looked up the information so that I could give you the current information that was available to me. And also too, I wanted to make sure that my attention was on this video. So right now, like I said, personally, do I regret buying the Vuzix Blade? That's an interesting question, because as a person who likes to try new devices, from that vantage point, I would say no, I don't regret purchasing it. But from the perspective of longevity, not just in longevity of this particular device, but I mean longevity in regards to the device being improved and iterated on, year after year, then I would have to say I'm not necessarily happy with the purchase, because I can't buy a new blade that's going to give me a new camera, that's going to give me new and updated features, and as a result of that, in that way, I have my regrets. But being a person that's tried a pair of smart glasses for myself and saw what they have to offer and kind of living on that cutting edge, in that way, I don't regret it. In that way, I was happy with the experience that I got out of this device. It still powers up right now. I can still, one of the things that I really liked about this, even though the camera is not that great, I can hook this collar battery to it. And as long as I periodically push the button back here to turn on the power to keep it charging, I've actually recorded for hours with this thing. And it did fine, as long as you have room on your card. But anyways, guys, thank you for taking time to watch the video, and I will see you in my next one. Take care.